Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ascending Gamers podcast, where two cringe chads talk about how to be mentally strong. My name is Jack, your host, and we have Stuart here as our co-host for tonight's podcast. Let's begin the podcast. Hello, Stuart Kun. It's been a while. It's been 2 weeks, my guy. How have you been?
I'm okay. Still alive.
Still alive. Sheesh. That I guess that sounds pretty. It's a good reply. Yeah, I'll take it. Anyways, it's been it's been 2 weeks since our last episode where I did not post on the Discord, which is pretty cringe, but I did post on YouTube, post on Spotify, posted on BuzzFeed. Anyways, it's been 2 weeks, and I was celebrating Chinese New Year at Ipoh Perak with my family, and it has been a ride, which was pretty difficult for me because my dad contracted COVID, so we had to quarantine in the house instead of celebrating Chinese New Year. And well, it was pretty cringe because it has been 2 years since I've gone back. I usually go back every year to celebrate Chinese New Year, but for this time, because of COVID, it's so random. Out of nowhere, my dad just contracted it and he suddenly felt sick. But he's okay now, and we did all the necessary procedures. We made sure nobody came to visit us, stuff like that. It's pretty rough because like when you're excited to go celebrate, yeah, we're gonna go celebrate Chinese New Year, yeah. But then COVID slaps you in the face and be like, "You bro, don't celebrate, man. You better do your SOP, your standard proceeding, bro. What is it called again? Standard operating procedure, right?
Procedure. Yeah.
Pretty cringe. Anyways, what about you, Stuart? Still the same, huh? Cho 1,
So
Cho 2, how?
I was playing mahjong with my sister and my mother.
Got win
And
money,
No, we just play for fun.
play for fun,
Yeah.
yeah.
Chinese Stuarts playing Genshin.
Yeah, oh yeah, in Genshin, Lantern Rite, right? You remember
Yes.
the event? Yeah.
Enter right event.
What do you think about
Okay,
that?
we can, but it's amazing.
Dude, the cinematic, right? I think everyone said it was better than the last one, even though we never played the first Lantern
The last
Rite.
one, I
Yeah.
don't know. The last one, just focus on the present.
Yeah, let's focus on the present because got Kaching there, huh? On the
Yes.
screen, huh? With the traveler. Yeah, this boy, yeah. I know what you're thinking, fam. Anyways, yes, we celebrated.
That's
we
too much
celebrated.
Genshin. We are going to
Oh.
the topic.
Okay.
Let's jump straight into topic. We'll have our share. Oh my gosh, broken English.
It's okay. Man.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're Malaysian here. No worries, no shame, right? Okay, yes. Tonight's topic for this episode, we're going to be talking about mental strength. Like, how do we become mentally strong as a person? Because, truth to be told, sometimes life just slaps us in the face and makes us weak, mentally weak. And how do we cope with that? How do we become stronger, right? What do you think about this topic? What do you have any like personal experiences that you've gone through about this?
Like for me, my thoughts is kind of draining me whenever I go to work. I was afraid, like I was paranoid. Like, oh my gosh, my boss is like gonna come and stand there watching me doing stuff, and I will start paranoid to see, what things I haven't done yet. Oh, did I do anything wrong? He would come to me and say, "Oh, you're not doing anything," or "Oh, you're doing this wrong again," something.
Okay, yeah, that is kind of how that is pretty much the mentality, the mental strength of you as a person. So like when you go to work, you have to carry that mental strength, like how much the meter of your mental capacity is you bring to work. And if that mental capacity is weak, then you bring to work a weak mindset, something like that, right? So what do you have in mind that you can share with our listeners?
have in mind, I've seen one video just said that you have to ignore the things that the person say. Not means ignore, like when he's saying like the things he or she said to you doesn't define you the way they say it.
That's a very good tip. Yeah.
Yes.
How has it applied? How has it applied to you?
No, I didn't apply it.
Oh, yeah.
I still.
Well, I hear the way you say like, oh, so like I watched this video, bro, and he explained to me, oh,
If
you
I
decide
remember,
your
I'll
fate.
apply it. If I remember, I'll apply it. Like, oh, it's like talking nonsense. I just ignore. But sometimes my heart that's off, and I'm kind of serious to most of the thing. Not I want to, but I just maybe someone say, oh, you're trying to show off. You're going back home earlier. I'm like, I don't mean it. Then he or she will say, oh, it's just joking. Oh, okay. Thank goodness it's just joking.
That's the sus part, right? You suddenly feel like, why are you judging me, man? I was just doing my thing, and then you suddenly tell me what your perception of me. Then now I feel bad, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's your mental strength, your mental power to handle something like that, right? And just like the video you mentioned, like how do you cope with that? You just ignore, right? Like you just don't put it too much into your heart, right? You just don't.
Don't put it too much. It's ignore the fact.
Yeah.
Don't put it too much in your fact.
Now, we get to the juice part, right? Now, how do we really strengthen our mental strength? Like, the way I hear how you did that was kind of like avoiding the problem, you know? And it may not sound or seem like you are avoiding it, but then it kind of shows when you actually think about it, like you process it, it kind of shows that you're actually avoiding it. Now let's get into why do we kind of do something like that? How do we improve and strengthen our mental mindset, right?
Yes. I wanted to know how do we improve and strengthen. Come, share with us.
All right. From what I have learned online, and try to understand myself, because I am not kind of a person who understand my own mental strength. That's why I also need to like I have to go and search it out and like, hey, what is my mental strength? Like what do I have mental strength or like I don't even know. So I go and search it up, right? Okay, mental strength is something like it's like physical strength, right? Example, you go to the gym just to get stronger, right? To be stronger, because you go to the gym to train to be stronger, right? But if you want to see results, you need to stop eating junk food. You need to stop eating the unhealthy foods to see results from your training, right? You train to be stronger and training and reducing your junk food is different thing, both is a different thing. You train to strong your body becomes stronger, but you're still like not slimming down, and you can't see the results. So you need to stop eating junk foods to see the results, right? Now, mental strength is kind of the same, right? If you want to be mentally strong, you need to practice good habits, like practicing gratitude.
Yes.
Like gratitude, oh, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for that. And it goes the same with being physically strong also, right? Like,
oh, I get what you mean.
yeah. You stop eating, you want to see results in being mentally strong, you have to give up some bad habits, right? You go gym to be stronger, and in mental strength you practice good mental habits. And if you want to see results, you have to stop eating junk food, right? If you want to see results, you have to...
What's the good mental habits?
Okay. Now, those kind of good mental habit is not like you hear fairy tales and you're like, whoa, I can do whatever I want to be stronger. No. It's always you have to always go through a difficult part just to get good things, right? You cannot like always how do I say this? You can't always like assume, oh, I offer so much, I deserve to be rewarded. You can't do that, you know? Because whenever you do that, you are expecting to be crushed. You know, you are subconsciously expecting to be destroyed. Because you like, oi, I offer so much. Why I don't get result? Why I don't bro, when you do something like that, you are just building yourself to fall down faster. Because like, oh, I offer up my blood, sweat, and tears to my girlfriend, and then they break up with me. Walao eh, it's not my fault leh.
They
You're blaming other people, something like that, right? That's
okay.
that's not the right way to be mentally strong. You know, when you do something like that, you're kind of avoiding the main problem. You're kind of pushing the blame on the girl. Example lah, you're pushing the blame onto the girlfriend because you offer so much, and then you start to rely on that instead of focusing on the, like, you have problem or not. Wait a second, why do I have to be why do the girl have to get everything from me instead? Why they don't offer anything to me? When you notice, oh, wait a second, I'm kind of obsessed with this girl. I think that's a problem. That's why if she break up with me, I will suddenly so furious because I obsessed with her, right? You see, now you see the problem. When you see the problem, how you gonna overcome something like that? You are the one obsessed. You are the one trying to developed a bad habit without knowing, right? So it all starts by accepting what makes us uncomfortable when we think about it. Like, wait a second, if I don't obsess over this girl, she looks amazing. She's really good at cooking, something like example. Then I can't accept that I'm obsessed. I really like this girl. But if you don't accept that you're obsessed, how are you gonna solve that problem, right? Because once you continue on with that obsession, one day you will get disappointed if she doesn't meet your expectation, right? Then how? You start to blame her only, no? Because she doesn't meet your expectation, ma. You don't want to accept that you are the one obsessed, and you need to like go through all those emotions and let yourself understand. Like, you need to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why I cannot why I cannot like reduce my emotions and not trying to avoid it. Like you avoid, you're obsessed. You're so obsessed with the girl or something like that, and then you're trying to avoid that you are the one having the problem, right? And then this kind of way that we cope is how we tell ourselves lies, and it makes us weaker and weaker. Every time we tell ourselves lies, we get weaker, and then we weak, and then that's how suddenly out of nowhere we suddenly ask ourselves, why am I so mentally weak? Because we have developed all those bad habits along the line, bit by bit.
I see.
Right. And if those habits is kind of unnoticeable sometimes, you know, like, what, I don't have bad habits. Why do I still feel mentally weak? I don't have any bad habits. I don't notice that. But hey, it could be anything small, like giving up so easily without assuring yourself, it's okay lah, I'm not that good ma, so I should give up. What? Now that's a problem. You know already. You are giving up because you know you're not good. You are coping. You are telling yourself. You're trying to tell yourself lies, and you cope with the issue, and you don't want to solve that problem. Then you avoid it. Then you become more mentally weak. If you understand what I mean, like because of that bad habit. Yeah, that bad habit develop over time, and then your mental state will, your mental strength will keep on being weaker and weaker. But if you want to really be mentally strong, that's something we need to like discover ourselves, right? What do you think about what kind of ideas do you have if you want to be stronger mentally? Do you have like habits that you think is better to work on?
Habits.
Yeah, what kind of habits do you think it's more healthier than, like example, the bad habits we kind of can see the obvious bad habits that we develop lah, like avoiding the problem, blaming, pushing the problem to other people, something like that, and then you're like, oh, it's not my fault, what? Yeah, those kind of very
Yes.
obvious, right? But what if we try to think about the, like, example, you want to be stronger in physical strength, right? You need to put more weights, right? To tear that muscle, suffer. You really need to bomb that muscle. That's why you see Arnold Schwarzenegger or The Rock, doing The Rock Johnson. They pump so hard. I know some of them may have done steroids. Let's not talk about that. But we know that they have actually put in the work, right? You know, and really shred those muscles, those muscle fibers every time they do a rep or they do a set. They add more weights, they really strengthen, they really suffer, you know what I mean? And when when you do that to muscles, you suffer just to build it, right?
Yeah.
Now we approach it that way in mental strength. We need to make ourselves feel uncomfortable. We need to understand why are we uncomfortable when we're like, why do I feel uncomfortable when I talk to somebody who I don't like? Do I avoid them? That's not making yourself mentally strong. You can't avoid going to the gym if you need to be stronger, if you need to get those muscles pumped out, you know? You can't just avoid the gym, right? If you avoid the gym, you're basically avoiding that person you don't like. It's how you don't make yourself stronger, right? You don't go to the gym, you're not strong, lor. You avoid that person, you're not strong, lor. Your mental strength will not be strong, lor. That's it. It's like kind of a simple way to describe it, right? So, wait, and then, oh, Jack, how do we become stronger then mentally? How do we become stronger mentally?
Yeah, how do
We ask ourselves the questions. We make ourselves think. We make ourselves uncomfortable. Like, oh, I'm so lazy to do this, but I must do it. I have to do it so I can feel stronger. Like, why do I avoid this person? Okay, I don't like his guts. I don't like the way he speak to people. I don't like his attitude. Oh, why I don't like his attitude? Because the way he talk to people pisses me off. Okay, what's the problem with the way he talk? Like when I approach him and share my opinion, he always want to counter my opinion one. Oh, then does it feel better if I try to counter his opinion? A bit, yeah. It feels a bit better to counter his opinion. See how he react. Oh, that's a starting point, isn't it? Don't you think it's a starting point to become mentally stronger? Like, instead of avoiding that person, you face the dragon. Holy moly. The knight faces the dragon. Yeah, I'm not asking you to do it every time lah. I know sometimes it's really too uncomfortable to approach somebody you don't like. But
Yup.
yeah, I know. But it's kind of a metaphor I'm trying to get my point across. It's kind of a metaphor. Like, if it's uncomfortable for you, a problem is uncomfortable for you, I think if you want to be stronger mentally, you should face that problem. Something like that. Not facing other people. That example was just a metaphor to explain my point, right? So,
I see.
yeah, like, how to not be lazy? Oh, I'm so uncomfortable. I don't want to do this, man. Then ask yourself, why are you lazy to do something so simple? And then that's a problem you need to ask yourself already, right? Then you develop from that. You start off from those small, good habits, those uncomfortable habits that you really despise. You really I don't like it. And then you try to slowly develop those good habits, like, and it's kind of how, like, example, right? If you don't approach it this way and you avoid it, it's kind of it kind of makes you weak, you know. It makes you think like, oh, I shouldn't suffer just to do this. It's not worth suffering for, you know what I mean? Like, why do I have to suffer and try to overcome something like this. Nah, it's not worth it lah. It really it's kind of how you develop bad habits when you think like that. It weighs you down mentally, you know. And it's like telling yourself like, you know what? I'll eat a little bit more calories today because I'm tired of eating healthy. I want to eat more calories, so just because I want to, because I'm tired today, I don't want to eat healthy today. And that builds, you know. It starts like that, and it slowly builds to become more of a problem. And it develops our subconscious mind to enjoy creating those unhealthy habits, you know. It weakens our mental strength just doing something like that. If you kind of get my drift, you know, if you get what I mean.
I get what I mean.
Yeah. So, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about my ideas?
Yeah, I just might seem like quite challenging. It's like, yeah, if you like, it's like, as you mentioned just now, you say if you want to, because you want to avoid this person, like his attitude, it's going to piss you off. You try to like, because it's sometimes when you have an idea, he will counter back your idea. Then maybe if you have a chance, you counter back his counter.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like need some braveness inside that steps to do it.
Yeah. And when you really master that courage, the braveness, when you really pull that out of yourself, you are potentially strengthening your mental strength. And in the future, because you did it once already, in the future when something like this happen again, you were like, "Oi, I've done this before. I think I can do it again." You know? Because you're strengthening it already, because you do it once, you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna counter you. Oh, even though it's uncomfortable, I don't want to talk to you, but I want to counter you this time, Then you slowly become stronger that way, you know. It's just a metaphor lah. The the person you like the person you don't like to talk to, that was just
Is
a
it?
metaphor. That was just a metaphor. It's just an example only, you know what I mean? Like,
I see. I see.
it could apply to anything. It could apply to anything. Just being uncomfortable and trying to go through that emotion so you can overcome it and become mentally stronger. It could apply to anything.
Anything,
Yeah.
but yeah, for the viewers, you have to watch out. In which situation you have to, if you want to use this method. Sometimes you don't have to like counter back to people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you counter for no reason without thinking the logical why, like why are you countering him, for what reason? If you don't think about that, then you miss our point already. You
Yes.
completely miss our point. You need to know why you counter. Why I want to counter this guy. If it's not worth your time, don't do it. You know, like, this guy is not worth it's not worth my time. Don't do it. Something like that. But when we are talking about mental strength, like, how do we strengthen our mindset to be able to function well as a human being in society? You need to have a bit of a standard there in your mental strength, example. But if you're too weak, too tired, too lazy to give any F, then you're gonna probably be like a NEET. You know what's a NEET? NEET? You know, sit at home like, don't go school lah. Just ponteng lah. I just skip class lah. Today I skip class. I'm too lazy. You don't want to face the problem, right? This is that mindset. You don't want to face the problem. You don't want to ask yourself, why am I skipping class? Is it because I don't like it? You didn't ask yourself. You just instantly give yourself get out of jail free card. You're just giving yourself that every time you face a problem. You're just giving yourself that card. I'm gonna get out of jail free. I'm not going into jail. Something like that. Yeah. So do you think we covered? Do you think we covered the entire idea of being mentally strong?
In a general sense.
I'm sure there's a lot of other ways to strengthen your minds, but this is what I kind of have to offer. not have to. Sorry, this is what I have to offer. Like this is what I have. Like I offer this idea because I think it makes sense to me. You know, like wow, I didn't know mental strength was like physical strength. You have to build it because you don't build it, you're gonna be weaker over time, and then at some point when a big problem arises, you're too weak to handle it. You need to like build it, and then when a big problem comes, you can overcome it. Something like that. You know?
Yeah.
Anyways, do you have anything to share, Stuart?
No. It's like it's really good sharing from you. I learned and reminded myself today from this session.
Thank you for telling me that, man. Great to know that someone is benefiting from free knowledge. I guess I'm just a guy who agree with a lot of the points I read myself. Like, I agree, so I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share it in my own words. So, I think this is how we should improve on our mental strength. It's like physical strength, building that muscle. Stop eating that junk food. You know, pumping the iron. Really put more weights. Really shred those muscle fibers. You know, and yeah, I guess that's it for today's podcast. Thank you, Stuart, for being a wonderful co-host. And thank you, listeners, for staying till the end. You can join our Discord in the link in the description. We upload our podcast every week on Wednesday. Our next topic is going to be how to be productive. All right. Anyways, thank you for listening, gamers, and game on.